Welcome to Heal and Create Your Reality TV. Thank you for all that you guys do. I've been gone for a couple of days. I've been fasting from social media. Well, my phone got hacked and I took it as a perfect opportunity to, put the phone down for a little bit. And what was that I said? I was grounding the phone. And, I was called to do that a while back and I didn't listen. And so this is the way of the divine telling me to listen, right? But I'm glad to be back. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. And so my phone got hacked, right? And allowed me to reflect about how it about our consciousness. It allowed me to reflect about our consciousness and about how it's so easy to spiral out of control and to be upset, especially when you know where things are coming from, right? And who's sending the attacks and what is happening here, right? Where I'm seeing the bigger picture of trying to get someone to get out of character, right? Or someone to be consumed by things that really don't matter that much, right? And so, although, for me, it's so important to show up and be authentic and help as many people as I can with the messages that I deliver, it is my goal that it reflects that I care and that the messages are of inspiration to guide others, to lead others in the way of healing so that we can overcome those obstacles and come up out of the darkness. And one of the things that I really reflected on was that as I was going through my initiation with the dark night of the soul, right? And I was being guided and led by my ancestors and my spirit team, right? And it was a lot of isolation for me, right? And I had to do a lot of healing. I had to let go of a lot of things. One of the things that I heard the most was come up out of her, right? And I always say this because, and more is revealed all the time, because I first thought that it was the mask that I put on based on the traumas and the experiences that I had, and the mask that I would have to put on to deal with certain people or situations, right? And so with this experience, it was it was a lot of reflecting on that same phrase, come up out of her, but it was come up out of the unclean spirits, right? And so for me, I was surprised about how I handled the situation where my phone got hacked and my social media platforms were hacked, and some still are. And I already knew that, right? But now the people who are hacking the devices, they manifested themselves by doing things that I would know that they're there, right? And so it really showed the growth that I've had on myself. And I like to boast about this because it allowed me to reflect on we can, it's easy to get upset. It's easy to, come out of, get out of character and operate under those unclean spirits, or even be welcoming, like a vessel to welcome in those unclean spirits because of the unjust, right? Because of the persecution, right? And at one point I wanted to listen to the Bible app as I was working at the time when I realized that it happened. I'm like, okay, I'll listen to Luke. God's been telling me to listen to Luke because you guys know I've shared this and I say it a lot. I didn't grow up with the Bible. I I'm a Psalms kind of girl. As I started my spiritual journey and I was going through spiritual, oops, the phone fell. And I was going through spiritual warfare, I did the Psalms, right? And so that's what I always do. I do the Psalms all the time. And so I was like, I'll take this as an opportunity as I'm driving, making these deliveries. I'll go ahead and I'll listen to Luke, right? Because God's been calling me to do that. And so I couldn't do that either because the person that hacked my phone, he was very, he didn't want me to do that either. So, but I have my Bible with me. So I went and I just, I have extra Bibles. Like I have one in the car, I have one downstairs, I have one in my room, and then I have a big Bible, right? So I wanted to keep, and then there was a monitoring spirit in the vehicle. So I was like, I'm going to traumatize this monitoring spirit, and the way we do that is by praying, right? So I ripped out Psalms 95, no, Psalms 35, and I just kept reciting it and reciting it and reciting it until I was able to kill the monitoring spirit, and my spirits were uplifted. But it showed me how much I've grown, because I didn't let that, tear me down or stop anything. I was like, you know what? I'll take this as an opportunity to, fast from social media, because I've been very consistent and very there, in order, disciplined about it. And I do this because I'm called to do it as my purpose, right? And so I've been looking for my purpose for a long time. I was looking for my purpose for a long time, and then I found it. God revealed it to me. And I wanted to come up here and just say that I'm okay and that I'm very grateful for you all, and that, my phone, my social media did get hacked, but we are back in, what is it, on schedule. We're back on schedule. And I'm extremely grateful to be here. And this situation also, prior to this, I was working on something very special for us, because what we come here to do is master ourselves, right? And so this was also an opportunity for me to see how much mastery I had gained, and also what areas I needed to improve, right? And am I still the same person? Like, oh, I always think about this, right? Whether I'm working, whether I'm not working, whether I'm around people, whether I'm not around people, no matter the situation that's presented in front of me, am I still the same person? This phone keeps falling. It's because the attacks are so big right now, but it's not stopping anything. It's not stopping anything. And so, am I still the same person, right? Are we still the same person when all of the things that we think we need are extracted or removed from us, right? And it speaks about self mastery, right? And the other part was that I had come to the realization of some very profound information when it comes to being operating through unclean spirits, which I like to call like demonic possession or demonic spirits, or that's demonic, right? But I found another way to clean it, like to call it as unclean spirits. And the fact that selling our souls or being targeted for our souls doesn't necessarily mean, like, it doesn't just require death, right? It could be control, losing control of yourself, losing control of your mind. And that comes with that comes in many different forms, right? And so I wanted to touch base on that one because I found that to be very interesting, and I wanted to deliver the message. So I'll be back with a part two.